So I think one of the most challenging things as it pertains to existing in this world, this earthly plane, this human form, is what if you are just meant to be the peace? What if you are put here purely to calm the restless spirit of humanity? How do you negotiate that? How do you get paid for that? How do you survive off of that? How do you live from that place? There's so many of us on this planet that hold that particular space. There are so many of us that are meant to just be the heart, because when you think about the heart, and you think about all the ways in which you connect to your heart, get directed to your heart, maybe touch your heart, when people touch you, that space of being the heart, it can be a challenging one from a human perspective, because first and foremost, we live in this world, particularly in America. We live in this world of doing. We live in this state of constant external movement, constant activity, productivity. We just think we have to do things all the time. And one of the initial breakdowns around that is that the thought of doing something we automatically attribute to, as I said, external action. And what if what you are supposed to do is just be the heart? Just be the heart. The soft place for people to land, the gentle place to receive people so they can relax, unfurl, process. What if your mere existence just brings peace to the people that come into contact with you? How do you negotiate that? How do you allow yourself to be that, and to know that that is not only enough, but it is so unequivocally paramount that you know it's enough and embody it always? Because when we don't, those of us that are the heart, those of us that are the peacekeepers, the space holders, when we don't do that, we're not doing our job. We throw the entire fabric and the entire rhythm and the entire flow out of whack. The whole job cannot be done if the heart is trying to do anything other than just sitting still, holding space, taking things in, transmuting it, and sending it back out. Think about the actual physical job of the heart. It receives and pumps out oxygenated blood. In all Eastern theologies and even Eastern medicines, the spirit lives there. That's the place of the Shen in traditional Chinese medicine. The spirit lives there. So if we are meant to simply transmute the spirit, the experience of spirit, what are we supposed to do other than just sit here and be, and let people come to us, let them bring their breath, let them bring their fire, which translates to their mind and their energy, their passion. Let them bring that to us, because that's what oxygenated blood is. It is the air, oxygen, which is their mind. It is their blood, which is their internal fire. They bring those elements to us. We transform it, we transmute it, we calm it, we settle it, we honor it, we hold it, we receive it with open arms, and then we send them on their way to go bring their their beautiful minds, their their thoughts. They no longer have the same worries, the same concerns, because we've transformed that. We've reframed it and put it into a new perspective for them. And they go on about their way to go continue on their mission. We have reminded them of their purpose, and then they go out and they continue on their way. It's such an incredible gift to be the heart of humanity, to be the heart of, consciousness, to be the spirit of consciousness. It's also extremely challenging because as a human people, we are not yet attuned or completely aware of that component. For those of us that are at the heart, we tend to think that we're not doing enough. We have to really reconcile and heal our sense of self and our state of existence, and the fact that just being is enough. And I mean just being, literally just existing right here on my couch with my greasy hair, that's enough. This morning, and not even this morning, it's every day. It's literally every day of my life. People are always coming to me to calm their spirit. And when they are not coming to me, because I am so attuned and tuned in and aware of my job as a member of humanity, I go find them. I feel them. I'm like, yo, you're moving too fast right now. I need you to slow down. And then when they say, yeah, this is what's happening, I'm like, okay, cool. And then I FaceTime them and I'm like, look at me. Look in my eyes. I'm right here. I need you to take a breath and slow down. It can be very difficult for those of us that are the heart to be okay with being the heart. As I mentioned, it is perpendicular to the way American culture exists, and in general, how global culture exists. We tend to think that we have to be at a certain status or at a certain notoriety or being given a certain title like the Dalai Lama, you know what I mean? Or the Pope, in order to be a person that just holds a place of peace. But that's not true. There are fractions of heart space all throughout our planet. And if you're the one in your group of friends that calms the spirit and holds the heart space, you already know that, because as you're listening to these words, you're feeling it. You're probably in tears over it. You're probably feeling very seen and understood and heard and felt. That's how you know. That's how you know. And if you're not responding to that, you also know who that person is in your life. And I urge you, if you know who that person is in your life, to honor them in that way, to acknowledge them and let them know that they do always calm your spirit, and that it's a necessary part of how you are then able to continue on and do your particular job and execute your role in this land of fractured human consciousness, that you're able to better do that because of the way in which they hold you and calm your spirit. We absolutely have to heal our relationship with our sense of self, our sense of self-worth, in order to be comfortable, and also the most potent being the heart space. We have to know that we don't require a certain title in order to be the heart space. And we have to be given permission to be taken care of by not only our people in our community, but also the universe at large. And really that's the magic of it. That's the alchemy of it. When we realize that we are the heart space, when we realize that that's what we do is we calm spirit, we reframe, we tend to the emotional nature of everyone's existence so that they can better go out and do their work after they've, spent time with us. I don't know what I was saying. Oh, got it. being taken care of not just by our community, but by the universe at large. When we are in alignment with that, when we are in alignment with our role, then everything gets taken care of. All the physical needs of the world, all of the earthly components, all of that gets taken care of when we are in alignment with our role and our job. And that's true not just for us as the heart space, for everyone, every role that anybody plays. When we are in alignment with our gift, what I tend to call artistry, with our genius, when we are in alignment with that, all the worldly workings, all the earthly workings fall into place and our needs get met. As a people, we don't trust that. We don't necessarily believe that wholeheartedly. I believe that wholeheartedly, and I'm here to remind you and tell you that it's worth believing in it wholeheartedly. It's worth doing the work of self to find out and come back into relationship and alignment with your genius, with your artistry, with your assignment. It's worth it to do the work and find yourself in that place, because then all the external workings do just fall into place. And it feels like magic because, again, our human brains are so attached to a linear, logical existence. So it feels like magic, but in reality, it is the reality with a capital R. It is how things are designed to work and play and move and exist and flow. It absolutely is. 100%. I know that to be true. That's not even a belief thing. That's not a I think thing. That's I know thing. But I can only know it as much as I know it. And what that means is if you don't know it yet, that means I don't completely, quote unquote, know it. Because we are all in this together and we need to all opt in together in order for the truest and the most profound transition to occur. You know, the evolution, the transcendence, the actualization, the big beauty, the big love that we are all on the hustle for and searching for in our own ways. That only comes when we all opt in together to the same knowing. That's what I mean when I say I can only know it as much as I know it. And if you don't know it yet, then we're not quite there, you know? Another thing that I want to say about being the heart is that we feel everything. We feel absolutely everything. And in a lot of ways, it, quote unquote, gets in the way of us doing what we think we're supposed to be doing. But I want you to know that what you are supposed to be doing is feeling. You are supposed to be feeling everything. And that's why you cannot move forward with any type of functional work, external movements and actions. You can't do that until the feelings have been tended to first. And that's true not just for you as the individual you are, but also the people that you interact with. You know that we cannot move forward on this project. We cannot move forward towards this goal until everyone's hearts are tended to. And so therefore, in order for us to know that and push for that, we have to feel everything, because it's the only way to motivate us to stay on track with our particular responsibility, which is tending to the spirit of humanity, the spirit of human consciousness. If we didn't feel things to the degree that we feel things, we would ignore our gift. We would ignore our artistry. So what comes with the feeling of everything is sometimes pain, a lot of sadness, a lot of confusion, a lot of things that, quote unquote, are not ours. But again, we are the hearts of human consciousness. We tend to the spirit of human consciousness. So it is still ours, because if there is a brother or sister out there in the world that is feeling something, then we're feeling it too, because they are an extension of us. They are a part of us. So we got to feel it all. We got to feel it all. And that can be overwhelming. I really only have found it to be overwhelming at the times where I didn't know what was happening. Once I reconciled and understood who and what I am, I'm better able to hold that. Once I was able to reconcile and understand who and what I am, I was able to put people in place to help me do that work. You know, I've got supports, I've got management, I've got handlers, I've got, containers in place that help me do this job of tending to the spirit of human consciousness, doing this job of being the heart, and it not overtaking me or getting in the way of anything else. And what's amazing about that is then everyone else can go do what they need to do. And part of what they need to do ends up providing for my earthly and worldly needs, because I have tended to their etheric and energetic and emotional needs. And that's the dance, that's the give and take, that's the relationship of masculine and feminine frequencies. You know, masculine and feminine energy has nothing to do with, shouldn't say nothing, has very little to do with men and women as a gender, as a human gender, or sex and all of that stuff. It's so much deeper and more subtle and nuanced and really beautiful than just those two things. So to be the heart means a lot of times you just sit still and exist. You just sit still and exist and receive what comes to you, the people that come to you. You tend to their hearts, to their emotionality. You transmute, you reframe, you breathe new life into their spirit. And then they go back out and they do the work that they need to do. And that's beautiful and that's perfect. Because each piece of that, each subtle tweak of that ends up getting our human consciousness into the place in which it needs to be for the expansion and actualization and full expression that it is capable of. So, all you hearts out there, keep feeling your feelings. Keep pushing to make sure everyone feels their feelings. If you need help understanding how to do that, let me know, because I know how to do that. I know how to do that in a way that still allows for the earthly work to be done. And it's also, it's really important to understand and integrate your own relationship with yourself as the heart, because otherwise, it can get forced upon people and it can come across as very disjointed and confusing. Sometimes it comes across as suffocating, and it just can get in the way of what really wants to occur. It can sometimes create resentment and distance between people. It's like a lost in translation. That's really what it comes down to. The work of being the heart and tending to the spirit of human consciousness, tending to the emotions of your friends, your group, your company, your organization, whatever, your family, your children, when it's not integrated and understood cleanly and fully, the beautiful wisdom that you have to offer a person gets lost in translation. So as I said, if you need help with that, let me know. Leave a comment, ask a question. Let me know, because I know how to do this. I know how to do this, and I would love to help facilitate that experience for you. Okay, that's what I got. I love you so much. I love you so, so much. Let's keep going. Let's keep doing this thing, this human thing, because it's pretty spectacular to be human. It really, really is. We get to feel and experience and sense so many things. I love you.